Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is Rabenschild and I didn't have a lot of time to record, so I concentrated on building and doing stuff, and now I can present you some things. We will take a look around. I have something to show that I still have to work on a lot. So, two things that I'm doing here. I worked a bit with the plane parts and I want to create a flying drone to maybe scout out targets and to maybe be able to scout ahead in front of my cruisers and yeah, again, for stuff like that. I'm not intending to put weapons on them unless it works out. I'm not sure. This is not the size. I think I need to make them a bit bigger because this is very unstable. It fell it fell off the deck of the cruiser and it tumbled down while loading. But these wheels are kind of nice. There is the possibility to bring them in. I'm not sure if I really want to do that. Maybe if I work now, I would work with just the aerodynamic wings. There is a mod, and I think I talked about this last time, that I might want to bring in the whole atmospheric drag and lift part with deadly re-entry. I'm tempted. Again, Patrick Hansen, that's a scripter that's out there, did some, I don't know, he's called something tech on Steam, but I'm not sure. He's doing videos, and he did something cool with a fly-by-wire system for stuff like that. But this thing will be built in a bit. I have to concentrate on this, and then I've built this thing. This is another drone, so it is remotely controlled and it can be built and then lowered and brought onto the surface to then scout out all locations. This specifically is done to just drive ahead, find ores, because the cruisers are so big that I intend to kind of scout ahead in front of them. Then I can target a location and drive there instead of just taking this thing out for a spin and then just finding ores while this thing just rolls down a hill and is not able to stop. I don't know why these things got me so hard. I can't tell you. So this has the landing gears to be able to attach to the ground so that it can remain there and be able to be charged with these tiny wind turbines. And for the driving, basically it uses just the solar panel. I wanted to be able to be charged with wind turbines so that I can kind of do stuff with the antenna range. So if I want to really scout ahead, then I can bring up the antenna range relatively high and then just leave it there, and it tells me what's close by. These things are relatively cheap. There is mass blocks on here that makes it expensive. Otherwise, all the parts are really cheap, and I can build them relatively quickly. Now with the blueprint, I have already a blueprint of this, and then I can just use this thing, steer it from the cruiser, drive it to the ore patches and see what's there. That is interesting. And again, it is If I don't need it, I can scrap it or drive it to the next location. Whatever. But these, I hope that there will be more in the future of these. I don't know. I'm working around the cruiser. This thing still looks kind of weird because again the form is just crazy with just the platform, but it really does a good job of bringing stuff back and forth. I was able to bring materials from the cruiser onto or into the base, empty out the containers, bring them back in, and there is still stuff in them, or now there is stuff in them again, and that's brilliant. It, as a resource operation, this kind of works. I didn't do a whole lot to this cruiser. I'm working around with lights to light up the inside. I'm still toying around with the weapons. Otherwise, not a whole lot. Again, the most of the building was, yeah, on the drones and on something else that we maybe should drive to. I will use the truck. It's a bit more stable. I found the tank a bit jacked up on the other truck. So you can see it already because the new weapon system is just not hiding this thing. And I talked all the time about cruisers, and let's say it this way, that thing there on the horizon is not a cruiser anymore. This is a full-blown land carrier now, and it's another stupid, idiotic big build that hopefully now at least doesn't change in dimension anymore. But it needs a lot of work that I basically just did not in secret, but I just did so that I don't know. I had too much fun building the other one and I wanted more. So yeah, the land carrier, it gets more and more things added to it, and I'm loving to greeble with it. So we have we have still the shape, but I'm building it out, and I'm working off of again of a Deserts of Carrick thing that I found, and that I'm kind of using to, yeah, to get inspiration for this thing. So you can see that it is at the moment still very bare bones, but we already have a lift to bring flying, yeah, the drones that I want to build in here onto the carrier deck from where they can start, and maybe bring them back down here to I don't know, repair them or whatever. And by the way, the whole small thing tumbled off of this lift here, and just, I don't know, while loading. We have already a dock, so we can empty out the truck. What we don't yet have is, I will have to bring it over. We don't have container storage, but that will be is on the agenda. This thing is steerable, as all the other docks are. You can see that I'm, at least here, I'm trying to play with colors. The rest of the thing still will get more and more color. So this thing works, by the way. Is not fast, but it is able to to lift up the drones and set them onto this deck, from which they can take off and then also come back in. I have this entry here that is basically so that we can push stuff onto the deck of the whole thing, whatever it will be. And we have a gate here that is to maybe... I'm thinking about weaponizing drones too, that I maybe can start from here. So drones that... something like suicide drones or whatsoever that just crash into things, or have another way to just build things. These are just two of the normal gates. There's, don't know, people build these quite often. I never did, and I wanted to have that. Here we have the drone dock, so I want to close this, not off, but want to give it a bit of a railing and all that stuff. And this is the dock where I can start these wheeled drones from. So bring up the projection here and then just lower it down. I'm considering to build some welders here. Weld them up instead of with the build and repair system, with maybe some welders, and then just lower them down. We will have to see. And yeah, from here they can start. This is not the way to get them back in. That's why I kind of consider them to be a bit disposable. There could be space for them, so I could build them and then store them here. I'm not sure yet how to do this. Again, this whole thing still needs a lot of work. We have walkways into the main hangar where I can store rovers, for example, the tank and all that stuff. Then we have a drill system already hooked up and is not working. I didn't test it yet, but it is there. We also have a room for refineries that will be here. I'm working with a lot of staircases and walkways. I kind of want to have everything accessible by walking. This is dedicated storage for ores. It is, you can see there's sorters in there. I have cut off, basically ores come in here, and then from here there will be just ingots going out, and the ingots then will again be stored or be stored in the external containers, and that I can then lift off, bring them back to base. I added a few mods. This refill station is just here so that I don't have to... It doesn't work as a medical room, it is just refilling battery, it is just refilling the bottles. I needed that here to not have to build medical base everywhere. I'm sick of seeing medical base. Yeah, I found a new love for these gates. Never used them a lot. Main hangar. So this is the big hangar storage for rovers. We could also drive the truck in here and keep it here and take it with us. And we have more room here. Up above here is the hangar for the aerial drones, and here's just the room to steer the crane system, or not the crane system, the unloading dock systems. Everything is a bit big, and I might artificially make everything a bit smaller. We have walkways in here, and up here's another one that is more a maintenance walkway. Nothing special to see there. You can see here is, again, this is the refinery room. I have a walkway up here that leads from this front part onto towards the bridge. We can walk that in a bit. Nothing special. There's most of the rooms that I want to have walkable are now pressurized, and that's another at the moment very hollow room, but I'm filling that up with gyros. That thing definitely needs gyros to turn, and we have a path into this outcropping that comes out of the main body and extends over the wheel. I could put some control seats in here or something like that, so that I would be able to control that thing from here, but I need to work with the windows here. That is just not really nice. That need to open it up again, and then that's just an outside access. That thing is so big that I kind of need outside access everywhere. This is the front. We saw that already because I think I've built that up on the the test bed that I had. But this is where some assemblers live, and the medical bay and the main reactor right now. I want to kind of put the reactor somewhere here. Maybe get 2 or 3 big ones. Just drive it with that, and have another azimuth reactor to then be the heated main power. This is just a walkway up into a thing that is on the deck, so we can get here, and then a few blocks down it's just the bridge access where we can get into the bridge building. This thing is relatively new. I don't know how that thing is called. On aircraft carriers it has a name, and I really don't know what it is right now. Stairs. This is at the moment the control for the whole thing. Stairs, and it is not pressurized yet. That will follow relatively soon. I need to close this whole thing off. This is an access to the outside. I want to build some antenna structures and all that stuff, so that this thing can be don't know, have antennas. This thing will get a laser antenna. I want to connect that up to orbit and maybe be able to have some more orbital structures to keep this thing in connection, even if I get out of range of the base. I don't know why this is not airtight. I have to search if there's a leak. I can search if there's a leak. That's the cool thing. Let me. I will get in trouble with. I'm pretty sure with Ramethab, because I've brought in build info, and I'm sure I need to get rid of this. Otherwise, he wants that on Corvus too. It is open here. We can just close this now, so that this is just a walkway into some of the internal structure, where I want to have more conveyors to then arm it a bit with some cannons, some stuff, just so that I don't have to fear that this thing gets attacked by anything and gets shot down. So this is what I have done over the last days, building this thing. I had to, let's say it that way, I had to get rid of some other builds to make room for this. Otherwise the computer would have slowed down too crazy. And again, it's not the power of my computer, it's just Space Engineers just slowly giving up on me. Let us open the main hangar. I say I would like to open the main hangar. This is the main hangar door. It sits in between, yeah, the bridge tower thing and the front thing. This is another thing where Deserts of Karak just... I don't have the game. I don't have the game, but I need it. I need more material to reference this. I have downloaded a lot of pictures and a lot of stuff to just... Oh, okay, the hinge. I'm stopping the hinges, or I'm putting in the hinge stop so that it doesn't wobble while I'm driving this thing. And let's say it that way, up until now, Clang didn't really want it. So I'm happy that this stuff really works. I need a button to close all the hinges at once. Or not the hinges, all the doors at once. That's something I really need to do. It is just massive. It is just massive. I'm now starting to put up structures like these to have radar domes, and again something like this that is also on the Deserts of Karak vehicles. I also now need to put in thrusters. This thing definitely needs at least braking thrust, because it is just... The skid steering works best when you have the wheels attached to the main grid. With the external wheels, you just rely on the handbrake, and the handbrake does nothing for this thing. It's just, I need some thrusters to slow it down and to work with this, work with it more. Again, it's a lot of greebling, because I don't want to have all the straight lines here, and I need to break up stuff like this. I need to finish the runway. I want to have a bit more color around this thing and give it a nice look. The good thing with the large size is that I hopefully can put in more details. I'm trying to break up the structure as much as possible, so that it in the end hopefully looks nice, at least when you go a bit farther away, and then it is again yeah, just too big for one person. But with this thing I can carry, yeah, my whole fleet basically around. I have a really mobile base now, with all the amenities and all the possibilities to produce anything that I need, to gather its own materials, and I should be able to just produce anything without having to rely too much on stuff that I bring in from orbit or something. This room will be made a lot nicer. These are the assemblers that I'm running here. The industrial assemblers 3, plus the 2 that I have in the front. It is just, that's completely enough. I don't know. I'm so happy just building this stuff like crazy. I have so much fun just greebling with this thing. Make it look a bit nicer. Try to give it details. Try to just work out what I need to do to give it the right feeling, to keep it functional. That's the thing. At the moment it still works really well. With some thrusters it will work even better, but the wheels are still carrying it. It's not, when it comes to braking, it is like an oil tanker. It needs 10 kilometers to just stop. But it does its work. It's fantastic. This is another cockpit. That's the first cockpit I used to steer that thing. I don't know. It's just too crazy. Again, the cool thing is I have really enough space here to build new rovers, to think of anything that I maybe need to solve, and I have enough storage capabilities to store everything. That's a good thing. People. Again, the next thing with more greebling, I want to use this area here to put in the same system that I've done on the other Land Cruiser, where I'm basically grabbing all the excess materials and be able to just ship them off of this thing. For that, I need to build a few more of the cargo containers. I might have to grab a new blueprint of that, but otherwise I'm fairly happy with this thing. So next order of business, I want to do more here, although I'm pretty sure this might get tedious and boring, but I'm still having too much fun with these things not to keep going. Let me fix my microphone. It's just what Space Engineers allows you to do is just amazing. People, yeah, walking over the deck. Again, bring in the drones. Next order of business. Get blueprints for that ready. Bring in containers. Set up the container thing. And I want to take this for a spin. So we will do the whole thing while rolling. I now need to fill up the ore storage. And that's the thing. We need... Can we... We can't control it from here. So... we don't have an antenna. We need an antenna. So let us get an antenna going. I'm trying, by the way, to think about where to put conveyors so that I can give this thing some teeth if needed. But I want to now bring in an antenna just for now, so that I'm able to communicate with the base. Maybe we can bring in the drone remotely and park it in the main hangar and then get it to work and find some ores. It would be nice to bring in magnesium, because then I also can grab stone, but I need magnesium to again arm this thing up, because if I go out on a roll with this thing, then I'm bound to be meeting some opposition, I would say. I will also bring in the tank. I want to take that with me. And can we now get access? Yes. So, scout drone, control that thing, use the camera, turn this, and then we can just go off with it. Maybe we can also design the small aircraft, or the small UAV, I think is the right name for it, and we can bring it. We design it on the carrier, I say. Good. Bring this into the hangar, and hopefully these things help us find materials. There's ice. I also need that, but I don't want to grab it so close from the base or at the base. It looks just crazy. Gets bigger and bigger when it comes closer, and then just fills everything. It's alright. I'm standing on the deck of the thing. I need to sit down somewhere. The bridge needs work too. I'm not planned enough. That's one thing. I'm not like cobalt. I will dig some cobalt. Bring that thing in position and then grab some cobalt. I need cobalt too. Come on. Come on, please. Work your way up the... The thing is... Oh, I know what else it needs. Another blueprint because lights. Because lights. Good. Now we can just bring it down. And once the once these are ready to lock, we can just have it stand here and look nice. Although I will have to think about the batteries, because now the batteries unload. Maybe I need an emergency, or not a cutoff, so that everything on it can just power down while it is not being recharged. We will get the small kinks out, I say. This thing goes back to base. We will take the tank with us. I will bring this. It doesn't matter. Good, but again, that's the plan for now. Hope you like this, and if you do, please leave a like on the video. If you have ideas, if you think, I don't know, it should have this and it should have this, and maybe give me some design ideas how I can make it look a bit smoother, then let me know in the comments. That is always appreciated, and I hope to see you in the next video. Hopefully this will then not be one of the updatey style. We will, I think, do something with the UAV or something. Good people, thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next video. See ya, guys.